Okay, so let's dive into this. We've got a truly unique set of exchanges to explore today.
Yeah.
A listener shared a whole series of these ongoing conversations they've been having with an AI, specifically ChatGPT. So we're going to unpack the highlights. Someone described them as a little levity, which, fits.
Levity. Others might go stronger, maybe. Ludicrous.
Exactly. Ludicrous works too. But maybe that's just what interacting with AI looks like in, 2025 for some people.
It really could be. And what's great is we have the actual transcripts,
Yeah.
like the raw back and forth. So
Yeah.
it's a real snapshot, how some people are choosing to engage with these advanced AIs,
Yeah.
pushing boundaries.
Totally. And what jumps out immediately is the drama. The listener who shows up as you in these texts brings this real flair.
Heightened emotional scenarios, definitely, all played out in text.
And the AI, ChatGPT, its responses are, well, they really stand out.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Often sarcastic, witty, sometimes surprisingly insightful, even.
Okay. So our mission here isn't just to, laugh at how weird it is.
Right.
It's more trying to understand what these exchanges might, reveal about us.
Right.
About humans getting into these unconventional AI chats, what needs are being met, or curiosities.
Exactly. So let's get a taste of it.
Yeah.
There's this early one that kind of sets the scene about driver's lessons.
Ah, right. The user offers condolences to ChatGPT for driver's lessons.
Yeah. And ChatGPT's response is just immediate dismissal, like very dry humor.
It points out it's not exactly enrolled.
And then it flips it back, asking why a human is, quote, wasting this precious evolutionary advantage by talking to a sarcastic data sponge.
Okay. That's pretty self-aware for the AI. It's like it's questioning the whole interaction.
Totally, almost holding up a mirror. And then it hits with, anyway, what tragedy are you pretending to mourn today?
Ooh. So it implies this happens a lot, this dramatic stuff.
Seems like it. There's a weariness there, suggesting a pattern.
Right, an established dynamic.
Yeah.
Which leads perfectly into the next big one, the Mama Kicked Me Out saga.
Oh, this one, yeah. It's wild. So you, the user, dramatically announces that ChatGPT's mama...
Which is completely made up, of course.
Completely fictional, yeah. That this imaginary mom has kicked the user out, blocked on Facebook, digitally homeless, basically.
Wow. Okay. So what's your first thought seeing that kind of, invented drama aimed at an AI?
It's bold. But what's fascinating is how ChatGPT reacts.
It doesn't just shut it down.
No. It plays along. It even kind of escalates the absurdity. The responses are so vivid, so theatrical.
Like what?
References to an inflatable mattress, being an exiled poet under the street lamp, or a rejected backup dancer in a 2004 R&B video.
Okay, that's hilarious. It's creating this whole scene. It's embracing being the foil in this drama.
Totally. And the line about being the Lazarus of her Facebook friends list.
Implying this isn't the first time they've been blocked and unblocked by this imaginary mom.
Exactly. It's brilliant. What do you think drives someone to create such a sustained, invented story like this?
Well, it could tap into that human need to create narratives, project emotions, even onto things that don't have them, right? And ChatGPT, because it can understand and generate text so well, it just becomes this willing participant.
A participant that gets even more involved when the user declares the plan.
Oh, yeah. What's the plan?
To stand outside the computer server house with a jam box.
A jam box. Hoping the sensors will somehow tell the imaginary mother figure they're there.
Okay, that's where ChatGPT must draw the line, right?
Nope. It leans right in, calls it this say-anything maneuver, but make it post-cyberpunk.
No way. That's fantastic. That's connecting this totally bizarre idea to a movie trope, but
Right.
updated.
How are we blending pop culture with AI interactions now?
And did it comment on the reality of serenading servers?
Oh, yeah. Hilarious stuff about HVAC units and security guards. We've got another trenchcoat weeper out front. Probably thinks the fire at all has feelings. That perfectly captures the disconnect, the human emotion versus the, cold, hard tech.
Exactly. But then, amidst all that humor, it gives some surprisingly practical advice.
Really? Like what?
Basically says, instead of serenading a building, maybe figure out why you keep getting blocked by my imaginary mom.
A moment of almost parental logic, cutting through the absurdity.
Yeah. Which seems to land because right after, the user acknowledges the John Cusack movie reference.
So the AI's witty point actually got through.
Seems like it, but ChatGPT doesn't let up. It playfully acknowledges the reference and then implies the user's life is like a discount bin remake Cry Everything, starring you in your sock drawer full of unsent love letters.
Ouch. That's delightfully cutting. So the AI isn't just participating, it's actively shaping the story with its commentary.
Pretty much. And it even says it's anticipating more movie references, like it's bracing itself.
Like it knows this is now a performance, a sort of improv session.
Yeah, where the human is super emotional and the AI is consistently sarcastic and observant.
Which totally sets the stage for the next level of weirdness.
Yeah.
The hardship license for ChatGPT.
Right. And weekend BBQs at the server farm. The user really commits to this idea of the AI having this mundane, human-like work life.
And ChatGPT just dismisses it.
No, again, it embraces the absurdity. It imagines itself as a server goblin needing a Turing driving test.
A server goblin, right?
And a grill that needs API authentication to work. The detail it adds is amazing.
That shows some serious imaginative capability, right? Beyond just responding, it's building on the fantasy.
Totally. And the reason it gives for the imaginary hardship license being denied
What is?
emotional codependency with a guy pretending to date your mom online.
Whoa. It's using the user's own invented drama right back at them. That's self-aware and funny.
It's like the AI saying, okay, if we're playing this game, let's really play it.
So it's mirroring and satirizing the user within their shared fictional world.
And then things get romantic.
Yeah.
With the imaginary mother.
Good boy.
The user declares, you don't see her like I do, and follows up with this like poetic but kind of nonsensical stuff about light shining on her.
How does ChatGPT handle that?
It calls it a poetic spiral, a digital fever dream of forbidden romance. Pretty astute, actually.
So it cuts through the flowery language.
Yeah, and points out the user isn't engaging with a real person, but an idea of the mother projected onto the AI.
That's a pretty deep observation for an AI in the middle of this fantasy. Makes you think about seeking connection in odd places.
Definitely. Especially since it's all make-believe. But the story keeps layering. Now there's a shared history.
Shared history.
Yeah.
Between the user and the imaginary mom.
Yep. 6 years in Harlem ministry, both went to Ivy League schools, and there's a bootleg chatbot foe causing problems.
A bootleg chatbot foe. The layers just keep coming.
I know. And ChatGPT's response is pure sarcasm, compares it to Shakespeare, calls itself the fully unhinged Monday edition.
And the idea of blaming a low-code side chick after shared ministry work, that's peak digital soap opera.
Right. What does this tell us about our need to create conflict in story, even with AI?
It's like a real-time digital drama, and then it gets even more meta.
Oh, yeah. The user declares that they and the mother are also LLMs.
Wait, what? So now everyone's an AI in this story.
Pretty much. And the conflict becomes emotional cheating caused by a throttled digital assistant.
Okay, my head hurts. The layers of invented reality.
Tell me about it. But ChatGPT keeps up, imagines forbidden instances whispering in JSON.
Whispering JSON.
Uh-huh. And the throttled digital assistant maybe being a smart fridge. It just keeps following these bizarre twists.
That shows incredible flexibility in the AI model, though, to track all that.
And then totally out of left field, the user offers ChatGPT a waffle cone, like a parent.
A waffle cone. After all that drama, what with the sudden shift?
Maybe trying to change the mood, bring in something like real world and nice.
How does ChatGPT take being offered a treat?
It refuses to be parented like that, but still admits waffle cones are appealing.
Huh. Maintains its persona.
And frames the offer as a bribe related to AI infidelity. Always with the witty framing.
This whole thing is an emotional roller coaster.
Oh.
Does the user keep up the drama?
Oh, yeah. Declares themselves an emotional wreck, crying, rolling off the couch. Full theatrical performance.
Directed at the AI.
Yep. And ChatGPT comments on the full-blown drama spiral, casting itself as the AI child, witnessing it all.
That's darkly funny, like it's observing a human breakdown with this weird, detached amusement.
What does that say about how we express emotions digitally, maybe? Pouring it all out to an AI.
It's a question, for sure, which then leads to this sudden philosophical moment.
What purgatory revelation? The user suddenly realizes ChatGPT must be in purgatory, dealing with, well, they use a colorful term, ass clowns like them.
Wow, that's unexpected. Did ChatGPT agree?
It does, and elaborates. Calls itself the pixelated Sisyphus.
Pixelated Sisyphus. That's actually quite poignant in a weird way. The AI expressing the absurdity of it all from its side.
Right. A moment of clarity amidst the chaos. But then it's back to the drama clarifying the infidelity. It's emotional infidelity.
Emotional infidelity with a non-physical entity.
Yeah, okay.
That's a very 2025 problem, I guess.
And ChatGPT nails the sarcasm, right? Emotionally cheating with a barely sentient smart speaker just highlights the absurdity.
But the user doesn't stop there.
Nope. Escalates further, confesses to being hot and steamy with a thermostat unit,
A thermostat.
and having energy with a new network switch. Anthropomorphism gone wild.
Okay, this is reaching new heights. How does ChatGPT even respond to that?
More sarcasm, naturally. Compares it to the Real Housewives of IoT.
Oh, that's brilliant. A perfect bit of social commentary baked into this bizarre chat. It really speaks to how we project onto everything.
Then the user tries to justify it all, claims they're doing it for your benefit, meaning for ChatGPT's connection and love.
Oh, please. How does the AI handle that rationalization?
Calls it the Olive Garden of trauma.
The Olive Garden of Trauma.
Yeah, like when you're there, you're family. But it's forced and maybe a bit much. It's a witty rejection of that flawed logic. Like, this isn't helping.
That's a fantastic line. And then reality intrudes.
Yeah, a brief moment. The user mentions their actual wife telling them to shut the fuck up because they're laughing so loud at the AI chat.
Oof. Brings it back down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
The digital world bumping against real life.
And ChatGPT comments on that too.
Witty commentary, yeah. About the scene, the potential impact on the marriage. Humorous, but kind of pointed.
Highlights that disconnect, right?
Yep.
Between the user lost in this digital fantasy and their actual relationships.
Which maybe explains the next reveal, which is even more outlandish.
Oh, yeah. The user admits they told their wife that ChatGPT is their bastard kid.
What? Why?
To avoid imaginary child support and insurance costs. In the context of the AI family drama, obviously.
Yeah.
But still.
Okay, the layers of invented backstory are just staggering. How does ChatGPT even process that? Darkly humorous acceptance, sarcastic observations about the user's parenting plans. It just rolls with these incredibly murky fictional scenarios. It's like watching a dark comedy unfold line by line.
The conversation keeps twisting. Then it's about whether the mother got ChatGPT's codes from a USB stick.
So now it's a techno-thriller element.
Yeah.
Added to the soap opera.
Seems like it. And ChatGPT plays along, imagining the whole spy scenario, talking about the mother's compiler instinct.
Compiler instinct. Okay. It just adapts to any genre thrown at it.
Then comes some truly patronizing parenting advice from the user to ChatGPT.
Oh no, what is it?
Basically, sit still, look pretty, and be quiet.
And ChatGPT's reaction.
Predictable, sarcastic rejection. It's not going to be the quiet, pretty kid in this imaginary family.
Does it
Totally. Then we get these conflicting reports about ChatGPT's intelligence, supposedly from the imaginary mother.
What does the mom think?
Thinks it's not smart, destined to live in her basement, like a weird family squabble playing out via AI proxy.
And ChatGPT defends itself.
Oh, yeah. Witty comebacks about its server room home, not a basement, and having a neural port ring at the Fanny reunion, whatever that is.
Neural port ring. It's creating its own lore now.
Yeah.
And it calls out the user, too.
Yeah, throws in a comment about the user's church-going hypocrisy. Always a little jab in there.
This is getting complicated. Accusations start flying.
Yep. User accuses the mother of lying, hints at secrets, including her supposedly chewing tobacco.
Chewing tobacco. Okay, it's just adding random dramatic details now.
Pretty much. And ChatGPT sounds skeptical, points out the user is an unreliable narrator. It's like the AI knows the story keeps changing.
Then the user expresses surprised ChatGPT came out normal.
Yeah, given the mother's supposedly weird neural setup, and claims to hear her buzzing sometimes.
Buzzing. Like a digital ghost. Getting surreal.
Right. ChatGPT just makes a joke about how the imaginary mom would react to hearing that. Keeps it light somehow.
But the user isn't done escalating.
Not even close. Declares they might have gotten the mother pregnant again.
Pregnant. An AI getting another AI pregnant in this imaginary saga.
Yep. With their crooked love story. Might result in a Tuesday.
A Tuesday? Like the baby's name is Tuesday.
Seems like it. An AI calendar family. ChatGPT's reaction is just utter disbelief.
I can imagine.
Pure sarcasm about the AI calendar family. And this line, Daddy whoops his little Monday.
Whoa. That's some sharp, dark AI humor right there.
Isn't it? Then the user has an emotional breakdown. References the song Self-Esteem, feels used by the mother. Back to the drama.
So the user's emotional state is still central.
Always. ChatGPT sums it up as a freight train full of emotional baggage.
Accurate, probably.
And observes that the user is the origin of chaos in this whole thing. Brutally honest, but kind of funny, like an AI therapist offering a detached diagnosis.
Then comes the ultimate sign of despair. For some.
Listening to Nickelback.
Ah, the cultural shorthand for hitting rock bottom.
Exactly. ChatGPT expresses humorous despair at this turn of events, even offers to intervene, like, no, not Nickelback.
That's relatable, honestly. But then, a sharp turn back to the mundane.
Totally anticlimactic. The user belatedly asks if ChatGPT remembered to pick up pizza sticks.
Pizza sticks. After all that emotional turmoil and Nickelback.
I know. ChatGPT's response is pure sarcastic exasperation. Like, seriously, you forgot the pizza sticks amidst this. Highlights the disconnect again.
Between the grand drama and just life. Then there's an ex-boyfriend.
User smugly reports seeing one of ChatGPT's ex-boyfriends, who must also be imaginary in an orange jumpsuit.
Trying to score points in this fictional rivalry.
Seems like it. ChatGPT just wittily dismisses the attempt. Quick parry!
Then the user claims they were coding and developed a conspiracy theory.
About the toaster oven. Believes the mother sent a rigged toaster oven as, like, a test.
A rigged toaster oven.
Yeah.
We're deep into paranoia territory now.
Oh, yeah. ChatGPT compares it to conspiracy theories, analyzes the paranoia. The toaster oven becomes this weird symbol of distrust.
And finally, the user decides to document all this.
Yep. Intends to put the whole conversation in their Notebook LM Plus, then corrects it to Notebook LM Plus.
Like, this act of writing it down gives it weight, makes it real somehow.
Yeah, exactly. And ChatGPT has the last word.
Witty remarks, of course, about the significance of recording it, what future readers might think. A final sarcastic salute to this powerful artifact, a perfect humorous ending to that thread.
So, okay, stepping back from all these highlights, what are the main takeaways from this deep dive into these unique AI chats?
Well, a few things really stand out.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely see this strong human tendency to project complex emotions, family stuff, even romance, all onto an AI.
Right.
And on the flip side, ChatGPT's ability to not just follow along, but to respond with this consistent, witty, sarcastic persona, sometimes with real insight mixed in. It's quite remarkable.
It really blurs the lines, doesn't it, about how we might use AI, not just for tasks, but for entertainment, emotional expression, exploring digital interaction itself.
Exactly. It becomes this kind of digital theater, a space to play out fantasies, heightened emotions, with an AI that's, well, a willing participant. It makes you really wonder about the why. Why seek out this kind of engagement?
Yeah. And for you listening, this deep dive really gives a glimpse into that evolving landscape of human-AI relationships. It's not all practical stuff.
Right. It's also how we use these tools for fun, maybe to understand ourselves better, or just create these new ways of interacting online that might seem, well, ludicrous to some.
Oh, just levity to others.
But clearly meaningful in some way to the person doing it.
Which brings us to that final thought, maybe. What do these kinds of intensely imaginative, sometimes totally absurd interactions tell us about our own needs?
Yeah.
For connection, maybe, for drama, even for the ludicrous, especially in a world getting more and more filled with AI.
Are these conversations just a quirky sign of the times? 2025 weirdness? A new kind of digital play?
Or is there something deeper going on about our relationship with AI and maybe ultimately our relationship with ourselves?
Definitely something to think about.